Good afternoon to you. Thank you for watching Atlanta News First Plus. Today, a first alert weather day. Risk of severe thunderstorms really starting to ramp up into increase across North Georgia, Northwest Georgia, eventually into the mountains of Georgia, and then middle Georgia. So pretty much all of the Atlanta News First viewing areas at risk for severe thunderstorms today. If you watched the 11 a.m. stream or a little bit earlier today, not too many changes between now and then, other than we're starting to see the possibility of severe weather play out and become more of an actuality here across North Georgia and metro Atlanta. Let's bring you live outside. Notice those clouds starting to lift. And what we are noticing is that we're starting to see some peaks of sunshine as expected, and this is going to help destabilize the atmosphere. That energy to build up, allow those clouds to grow tall enough to become thunderstorms, and thunderstorms organized enough to tap into some of the ingredients in place across much of the kind of the Appalachian Mountain chain on into the mid-south and the southeast. Tall enough clouds to tap into these conditions to possibly start rotating and become severe on this first alert weather day. So we're starting to see those temperatures climb just a bit. The clouds break and winds start to increase, and we'll bring you over to radar in just a moment. But we are starting to see those thunderstorms move in from the west and northwest. Still, at the moment, they are to the northwest of the Atlanta News First viewing area, but very quickly we're going to have to watch the conditions kind of across the Dalton, Georgia area on up to far northwest Georgia as we track these showers and thunderstorms moving in from the north and west. That risk of severe weather will increase inside the Atlanta News First viewing area. Here's what we're tracking right now. Some showers moving across the area from southwest to north and east. These are not severe, so good news. No severe storms, no warnings at the moment inside the Atlanta News First viewing area, but we're tracking rain, maybe briefly heavier into northern Randolph County, Alabama, Carroll County, just north and west of Carrollton, heading up into Spalding County and into the Dallas area, starting to rain a bit. Cobb County, Atlanta proper, Alpharetta up to Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville, Beaufort, on down into Murrow, the Clayton County area, Fayette County, Peachtree City, Coweta County, Noonan. We're seeing a bit of a break, but do want to draw your attention to the north and west. We're tracking a pretty hefty line of strong to severe thunderstorms capable of producing 60 to 80 mile-an-hour winds across North Alabama and possibly an isolated tornado. Again, this is the main show, so to speak, stretching from near Chattanooga, Tennessee, east of Huntsville, Alabama, now impacting the Birmingham metro, and this will cross US 59 in northeast Alabama and track into the northwestern portions of the Atlanta News First viewing area over the next few hours. Rome, Floyd County, Chattooga County, on to Dalton, Georgia, Ellijay. These areas, northwest Georgia, that 75 corridor between Cartersville and Chattanooga, Tennessee, northwest corridor of the far north metro, and then on up into Tennessee, the first to be impacted by severe weather as we get into early afternoon. Right now, high wind warning is in effect for a few of our counties, including Ellijay. High wind warning, gusts to 60 miles an hour, possible, but I think more likely gusts up to 50. Can't rule out a few stronger gusts, even outside of thunderstorms. This is in effect this afternoon and evening, will not expire until 11 p.m., so keep that in mind. We do have that risk of damaging wind gusts even outside of thunderstorms today. Very windy setup underway, and that's why we're expecting the possibility of isolated to scattered power outages even outside of severe thunderstorms. So this is going to be a pretty impactful system. Risk of damaging wind gusts greater inside storms, but not zero outside of these storms. And you can see wind advisory in that lighter tannish pink shading for all of North Georgia, including metro Atlanta, wind gusts to 40 miles an hour. But in all actuality here, we could be talking about wind gusts up to 50, even outside of thunderstorms. This will go into effect, already is, and it's in effect until late evening and early tomorrow morning before winds really begin to die down. Again, this is ahead of that main line of storms. We'll see these winds ramp up as we see peaks of sunshine erupt across North Georgia and metro Atlanta getting into early and mid-afternoon. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Again, right now, storms lining up to our north and west. Storms, this is about on pace. If anything, storms are just a little bit slower than what these models are indicating. But watch what happens as we get into afternoon. First alert weather day today, because weather could be dangerous in spots. There's a greater than normal chance that you could be impacted by dangerous thunderstorms. And today is the day that you really need to have at least one way to get severe weather alerts. If you're away from the TV, of course, Atlanta News First, the news app, as well as the First Alert weather app, great tools to have. If you have the app, just a heads up, make sure that your location settings are correct. Of course, you probably have noticed you can get the First Alert forecast no matter where you are regionally even across the country. So you may have gone on a trip, switched your location, and maybe you just haven't checked the app since you've gotten back. Make sure that your location is correct to where you are today so that you can get the proper alerts, watches, warnings, advisories to where you are across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Forecast model has storms moving into the metro by maybe 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, this evening. But like I said, storms are running just a bit slower than what this particular forecast model, what this computer is saying. But I still think it has the right idea. Approaching and getting into the metro as the evening rush gets underway. Storms will be capable of damaging wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour pretty easily. Even outside of thunderstorms, we'll see wind gusts 40 to 50 miles an hour pretty easily. And isolated tornadoes possible within this line. In fact, you can kind of see it. You know, we're going to be watching these little kinks in the line, so to speak. Not that they'll end up in these exact same areas, but you notice a little kink in the line there. You notice a little kink in the line here, and maybe one just a little bit further south. It's going to be spaced out, not everyone impacted by these rotating storms. Nonetheless, ingredients are favorable across the entire area for these rotating storms to form. And then as we get into the dinner time and after dinner time frame, we're going to start to see conditions improve. Again, here we are hour by hour, that risk of severe weather really lessening as we get into the 6 and the 7 o'clock hours, especially in Atlanta. And I think it's out of here by the later dinner plans and any plans you have later this evening. And I don't mean just the city of Atlanta, but the entire North Georgia region. Risk of severe weather as these storms move through. Certainly it is there. Enhanced risk, that is level 3 out of 5 to the north of the city of Atlanta. Greatest threat is with wind gusts 60 to 70, maybe 75 miles an hour. So pretty much any storm that becomes organized today will produce damaging straight line winds. A couple of those storms will be rotating. They'll be spinning, so to speak, and that spin could get, tight enough to produce an isolated tornado here and there. And because winds are blowing so fast up above our heads, a couple of those tornadoes could be strong, and they could be longer lived. They're not as necessarily your quick spin-ups. Those are equally dangerous, though. But these could be on the ground for a while longer than what we're normally accustomed to here across North Georgia. Risk of heavy rain, yes, it's going to rain torrentially as storms are over your neighborhood or over your office or in your area, but it's not going to last long. So the risk of flooding is low, but I do think that rain will be pretty torrential when it is falling. Kind of a different look here, but some of the same information. That enhanced risk level 3 out of 5 is focusing across the North Carolina mountains, Clay County, Lumpkin County, Dahlonega, Towns County, White County, Rabun County, Clayton Community, Ellijay, Canton, Cherokee County, Cartersville, Bartow County area, Ackworth, and the North Cobb, near Dallas, Rome, Chattooga County. So the northwest kind of half of the Atlanta News First viewing area, just north of the city of Atlanta, under an enhanced risk of severe weather. But sliding to the south, Athens, Carrollton, city of Atlanta, inside the perimeter, LaGrange, on into the Griffin area, the Eatonton area, Putnam County as well, Lake St. Clair and Oconee. If you have weekend plans, maybe a long weekend and are out at the lake, Lake St. Clair, Lake St. Oconee. Have a lot of lake houses out there, I'm sure. A day that you need to keep an eye on the forecast as well, even though that risk of severe weather technically greater to here north and west. Don't let your guard down. Be aware of that possibility of some severe weather as we get into the afternoon and the evening. Let's see. Anita, hello to you. Again, we're chatting on Facebook. Max, hello to you. Notice the level of rain is like the Storm Prediction Center. That's what I noticed. That's not indicating rain, Max, but that's indicating the risk of severe weather. Kay, hello to you. Lori, hello to you. Jamie, I'm not sure what you're talking about, asking to get the words off the map, see what you were circling. There are no words on the map, Jamie, so if you could holler back at me, let me know exactly what you're seeing on your screen. You may be seeing something, if you're watching us through Facebook, perhaps closed captioning. That is not something that we are controlling in-house. That is to help those that are hearing impaired, of course, and is actually run through Facebook itself. So just a heads up, you may be seeing something on your device that I actually don't have control over. So just a heads up there. But Jamie, on Facebook, Atlanta News First, the account to like and follow. If you have anything to say, just let me know if you are noticing words still over the map there that may not be within our control. Folks saying sun peeking through at Hartsfield. Yeah, that's not a good sign. And actually, looking out the window now here at Atlanta News First, some peaks of sunshine, allowing temperatures to climb and the atmosphere to become more unstable. And what I mean by that is that air will more easily rise. And we need rising air to get these clouds to grow tall enough to become thunderstorms and then to tap into some of these ingredients that we've been tracking and become severe. That is Twisted Creech 96 on Atlanta News First, the YouTube page. If you're just now tuning in, we're streaming live here at Atlanta News First Plus, even outside of newscast time, to make sure you're still aware of what's coming up today. Make sure you're still alert to showers and thunderstorms and that risk of severe weather and downright windy conditions forecast to evolve and develop across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Here's the latest look at first alert radar right now. We do have some rain out there, even ahead of the main line, but that line of red and orange and pink at times, that is the greater risk of severe weather. That's the main show, so to speak, off to our north and west. Yeah, Jamie's saying, yes, it's closed captioning on Facebook. You're very welcome. Is Griffin in a tornado risk? Let's see, Jamie, yes. You know, your risk, in fact, we'll pull it back up here for you. The risk is not zero down in Griffin, but it is greater to your north. I'm going to pop that map back up for you, and I'll have a little bit more of a zoomed out look, so hopefully those words don't block your view. Let's see here. We're going to pop that back up. So the risk of a tornado is greater where it is in orange. So that's to your north. And again, hopefully I've adjusted this map enough to where it's not covering Griffin. But LaGrange, Troup County, Heard County, Griffin, Henry County, Paulding County, Pike County, Coweta County, Putnam County as well, Meriwether County, Athens, Clark County, some of these east and southeast and southwest communities, yes, you're not under an enhanced risk of severe weather. You're not at greatest risk for tornadoes today, but certainly an isolated spin-up tornado can't be ruled out, but I will say that risk is greater. But as far as what you need to do today, actions are all the same. Whether you live in Rome, Ellijay, Canton, or whether you live on the far south side, if you live in South Fulton, down to Griffin, LaGrange, even Macon, Eatonton, just have a plan of action, know where you're going to go if a tornado warning is issued, and make sure you have a way to be alerted to severe weather approaching your office, your neighborhood, your place of work. And the First Alert Weather app is a good tool to have. You can sign up for free alerts, make sure your location settings are correct, make sure you have tornado watch warning, severe thunderstorm watch warning selected as far as alert types that you wish to receive. You can go in your settings menu, looks like three kind of lines, sheets of paper there, upper right-hand corner of your screen to adjust your settings as need be. Let's see what else is coming in on Facebook. I did see another comment coming in. I'm going to pop that back up here real quick. Susan, about the school closure article online Facebook, you have the wrong, you've listened notification for sharing it. Let's see. I'm going to pop that back up. We will check on that. And we'll be right back. In fact, I'm going to leave you with a look here. And I'm going to pause my mic and we'll check in on that real quick. Check in with the web team on that. Again, we'll holler back here as soon as we have that and do confirm that. She's talking about some of the latest information we have coming in to the team. We have had some delays and early closures reported across North Georgia, in particular northwest of Metro Atlanta. Hello there, Max on YouTube, Atlanta News First Plus. We're getting some good questions coming in on Facebook and also on YouTube, and we're getting some questions about the forecast. Also, some of these closures and delays that are coming in. Vance Branch wanting to know about Dahlonega, and Denise Swaney, hello from Guyton, down in Guyton. Of course, thanks for watching, Denise. And again, you have a risk of thunderstorms down there, Georgia Coastal Empire, South Carolina Lowcountry, Savannah Metro as well. Though that risk is greater up here across North Georgia, in particular the mountain region of Georgia, north of the city of Atlanta, on up into northeast Alabama, Huntsville, much of central and middle and eastern Tennessee, on up into the far upstate of South Carolina, something we're going to be tracking here over the next several hours. But Dahlonega Branch, Dahlonega from Vance Branch. So here we go. In Dahlonega, you have an enhanced risk, 3 out of 5 of severe weather today. You have just as good a risk, just as great a risk as anyone else across North Georgia. In fact, where you are better positioned for severe weather. Gusts to 60, 70 miles an hour, isolated tornadoes, large hail, and at least temporary heavy rain. Caffeinated Misfit, love the avatars here on YouTube, saying blossoms blowing off the trees in Decatur. Looks like snow. You're probably talking about those Bradford pear blossoms, those white flowers that don't smell the best. They are blowing around. Again, that is Caffeinated Misfit on YouTube. Blossoms blowing off the trees in Decatur. Looks like snow. Thanks for streaming. Again, we're happy to be here for you and answer any weather questions that you may have. And you're probably going to notice winds ramping up here over the next few hours. We'll take you live outside. This is not in Decatur, but top end of the perimeter, Georgia 400 at I-285. Top end of the perimeter, looking back towards Buckhead in the foreground, and Midtown downtown behind that secondary skyline. And as we see peaks of sun, we're starting to see the winds increase. We did expect the wind to increase. We did expect gustier winds to develop across all of North Georgia ahead of these storms. So we're seeing this play out somewhat as expected, and I think we will see some more sunshine before the main show, so to speak, before that main line, the strongest line of showers and thunderstorms, works its way back into North Georgia and Metro Atlanta over the next few hours. Vance, hopefully that answered your question. Susan, going to check back in with you here in just a moment. If you could just hang tight, we'll leave you with a look at the map, and I'll answer that question here in just a sec. All right, Susan, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Again, not Cherokee County, Georgia. That is Cherokee County in South Carolina. So correction there to that article. You can see the refreshed version, the latest information right now at atlantanewsfirst.com and in the First Alert Weather app. The news app as well, Atlanta News First, as far as any of the few, we're not seeing a ton, but a few North and Northwest Georgia school early dismissals and some alternate plans for after-school activities. Again, atlantanewsfirst.com. In fact, I can show that to you right now. Pull up the web story and show you where all of this information is. If you're away from the TV, even during news time, this is a good place to go. You can see First Alert Weather Day right there on the home page. Gusty winds, risk of severe storms increasing across North Georgia. Click on that, or in the news section just to the right, list schools across Georgia closing early ahead of possible severe weather. So all that information is in the palm of your hand, even outside of news time. And we'll keep you updated as the situation continues to evolve, which it will. You know, severe weather, we know there's a risk, but we have yet to see these storms move into our viewing area. We're just giving you the first alert, letting you know ahead of time, hey, this could be an issue for some, if not many, as we get into the afternoon and evening, right in the heart of that evening rush on a Friday, when a lot of folks have plans and some dangerous thunderstorms will be moving through North Georgia. So we wanted to let you know that there will be some weather to track here over the next several hours. No big changes from when we spoke earlier this morning. Again, today is a First Alert Weather Day. Two main impacts from today's weather setup, and that is the fact that we have thunderstorms moving in from the north and west. Any one of those could produce wind gusts 60 to 70 or 75 even miles per hour. Really a greater than normal risk of damaging to destructive wind gusts from thunderstorms today. Isolated tornadoes possible, large hail is possible, but even outside of thunderstorms, winds will gust 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, and that's enough. You know, in this area, trees just love to fall. Metro Atlanta, North Georgia, even outside of thunderstorms, will probably have a few trees come down, so power outages a possibility, maybe some blinking traffic lights on the way home. So a day to keep those alerts turned on, First Alert Weather app and in the Atlanta News First app. The digital team, First Alert Weather team, the entire news crew keeping you updated today. Stories that break through the afternoon. Also, of course, on our First Alert Weather Day, latest First Alert forecast, and we will be on TV if a tornado warning or dangerous severe weather moves into and through North Georgia. We'll keep you updated across all platforms. Thank you for watching. We'll leave you with a live look at the top of the perimeter. Stay safe this afternoon, and remember, have a plan of action if severe weather does approach your neighborhood, your community, where you work, and have at least one way to be alerted to severe weather as it moves through the area. Have a safe afternoon. We'll keep you updated.